We believe that what will happen is that Ericsson will be divided into 184 pieces, because you can't have one company in a cooperation with one government to control the telecom infrastructure, the internet, in 184 countries. That is also connected to the power grid, ABB, that is also global. So this infrastructure, it contains the payments infrastructure with BIS, Bank of International Settlements. It's about the internet, it's about the power grids. This is one system, and this was linked together with the Swedish government. So you couldn't really define where their company structure started and the government ended, or the other way around. I mean, the first company comes from Sweden, and also the first central bank. So we have kind of, spread this corruption.
What you've been saying and educating me about the laws, the first corporations, the first central bank in Sweden, it sounds like you guys have done just incredible research and reporting.
Yeah, we are really working on it. Recently, they found out that the Swedish Vikings was in the US, actually in the beginning of the year 1000. So we were there long before the US became
Columbus?
a country. Yeah, long before that. That was in the 14th. But then we have New Sweden. You have heard about that, right?
No.
New Sweden, it was Delaware. So Delaware and Pennsylvania, it was an area. So Delaware is this tax haven, right? And actually that is kind of Swedish still, where Biden is. Because if you have a corporation there and you ask for data, they don't give it out. This is kind of another jurisdiction. And that's why Biden and everybody, they hang out there
Mm-hmm.
and then they have their office in House of Sweden in the Swedish embassy.
Wow. So that's where Delaware corporations register in Delaware, and they took that structure from Sweden.
Yeah, the Swedes love all this stock exchanges, these registers. The central bank of the central banks now is BIS, Bank of International Settlements. That's invented by the Swedish. In Wallenberg has been operating for 200 years. This is the 6th generation now. Yeah.
So was Raoul Wallenberg part of that family?
Yeah, that is not what it seems like.
But you have really enlightened me, and you've expanded my thinking to really wonder how much is going on and what are the other relevant countries that play such an important role as Sweden does, but also why has this been hidden? Why do we just think that Sweden's this little country that has more women on the board and, is more liberal and whoa. Thank you. But the fact that I had the opportunity to learn from you here is so valuable that I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. I would love to show you a Q post. Yeah, this is almost the only post that we can find about Ericsson. And this is post 4024. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. A deeply entrenched enemy who controls the vast majority of communications is only defeated by game theory.
Whoa.
So there is one company that controls vast majority of all communications. And also Trump said that, there are people in the shadows that you have never heard about.
I don't even like to mention Biden because he's not controlling anything.
Who do you think is pulling Biden's strings? Is it former Obama
people
officials?
That you've never heard of. People that are in the dark shadows.
He also called them out. I can play that as well. When he called them out, the Ericsson.
Well, we have to find another time to continue this and to plan beforehand so that I can have a bunch more questions for you so that we can educate together the public. But this was very, very enlightening for me, and your connections with things and your ability to bring it together is absolutely admirable.
In 2009, a company called Ericsson came under U.S. pressure for selling telecom equipment to several oppressive governments, including Sudan, Syria, and Iran. Some of these regimes use those technologies to monitor and control their own people. In June 2011, Hillary Clinton's State Department began adding goods and services to a list that might be covered under expanded sanctions on Iran and other state sponsors of terrorism. During that time, Erickson sponsored a speech by Bill Clinton, paying him $750,000, his highest paying speech. In April 2012, the Obama administration issued an executive order imposing sanctions on telecom sales to Iran and Syria, but those sanctions did not cover Ericsson's work in Iran. A Trump administration will end the government corruption.
What is Justin Trudeau talking about? And why is it sponsored by Ericsson?